Imran Bhamani. I am originally from Pakistan. I've been living in UAE since the last 7 years. And by profession, I'm a banker, hardcore corporate banker. I'm heading the product management for transaction banking and the corporate banking. But in the last 20 years, I think one thing which has kept me going is voluntarily, enhancing people's lives, impacting people's lives in a positive way, making sure that they grow. And I'm a self-learner, so I do a lot of presentations in my community on soft skills, on you know time management, self-management, and a lot of those other topics which we don't get to hear in our school lives, right, in our college lives. And what happens is that when you get into this passion, and I've noticed this for myself, you cannot really reverse. So I kept presenting, I kept making my own presentations, and I read a lot. I listen to a lot of motivational speakers. So that's where I get my content from, and it's basically everything which you hear today. It's coming right from my heart. It's like my passion, and I think teaching is learning twice. So when you share with other people, you grow too. And in today's session, I'll bank on your experiences too. I will want you to share your stories. And the style of my telling is that I tell a lot of stories.
Amran, sorry to interrupt you. We have 10 people which are on the other group. So if you don't mind, I need to move them here. So
Yeah. How will you move them?
you might want to do something which is a little bit not starting the discussion itself, because I don't know why they're waiting over there. I did send the link. So thank you, Marianne, for telling me this. I will move them in just 2 minutes. So bear with me, Amran.
Sure.
You can just.
No, I can keep talking about myself the whole event. No, but I wanted to thank you, Wissam, because this is a great opportunity. When I joined Internations last September, I didn't know that it gave me so much of breadth. It gave me so much of exposure to the other nationalities, because in UAE and other countries where all the expats live, it's difficult to find a forum where we can all sit down and talk about intellect, talk about great things that we can share. What happens generally, because I was attending a lot of meetings, personal meetings, and clubbings and parties, and going meeting new people, and it was amazing. And until the COVID hit, and we thought that now we are homebound and we can't learn enough, and we can't meet new people. And then this amazing international group and councils like you, mashallah, started these sessions where we can share, where we meet everyone. Everybody comes together, share their stuff. And it's in my opinion, it's all about learning from each other. There is no new thing under the sun, right? Everything you hear today, you must have heard before. It's just about reinforcement of those. So I named it 10 open secrets, to live a life of happiness and peace. And I know that happiness is a subject which is extremely important, and sometimes just goes down the table, and we just get involved in other things. So it's for time to time, it's good to be reminded, to concentrate and get that hang of how we can. Is it a pursuit? Is it the everyday life? What is it, right? So I'm going to bank on a lot of, and I'm going to a lot of. I mean, if you can turn on your videos, and you can nod, you can wave your hand, you can applaud if you hear something nice. And I think Wissam and other concepts are doing a wonderful job by you know and all of this is voluntary, right? I mean, it's amazing how we in internations, we do not we don't do anything commercial. So doing something voluntary is amazing, and I just want to thank Wissam for it again. Are the people here now from the other group? We have about 46
Yes, and
participants already.
everybody's giving me their thoughts. We're good to go.
Good. I
So
think
just for the
46
other,
participants are not bad to start with.
no, this is the other 10. So Abdul Bashir, thank you. So for everybody who was on the other link, I had sent it by private message. So sorry about that, and thank you so much for coming over. Over to you, Amran.
Yes. Okay. All right. So I'll just share my screen now. Hmm. Okay. When I go to the presentation, it becomes okay. Share screen. Here you go. Okay. Is it full screen now? Can you guys see it? Yeah. Great. 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 So let's start, guys. I've already given my introduction, a little introduction on the screen as well. This is my YouTube channel, which I made like last year. As you can see, only there are 16 subscribers. I didn't do it for the subscribers. I just wanted to talk about what I feel from inside, from my heart, and on topics like we are going to speak today. But I think to start with, again, I will thrive on the engagement. I will thrive on the overall energy of the group. And you want to speak, please unmute yourself, go ahead and share. I'll try to ask people if I can, maybe point out to people who I know, who I don't know, who want to share anything with the group. Please, you are most welcome to. We'll be listening to all stories today. We'll be listening to analogies, we'll be listening to examples, and we'll be just discussing happiness. So, to start with, I want you to, okay, I'll start with the story. As I said, a group of researchers came in and they sent letters and emails to about 15,000 participants throughout the world. And they asked them to identify people who they think that they're happy and content with their lives, and they can teach something to some people and maybe become role models. And they got a lot of responses, and these people, about 400 of them were identified, and they interviewed those people. And those people were from age 60 to 100, or something like that. And they asked them to give them what they learned from life, what they were happy about, what things that they did, which were really good in their lives, what they think that they should not have done. So that research, came with so many stories, and they compiled it, and they found a lot of interesting things. And first interesting thing which they found was that old people tell the best stories, right? And I think, I'm not that old though, and neither is Sam, but I think what happens is when we reach that age and we learn from our experiences. I think I've personally known in my family, grandfather, grandmother, they tell the best of the stories about their lives. So I want you to imagine now that you're sitting comfortably on, I mean, if you can just close your eyes and just be in that groove. You're sitting on a beach and very, very comfortably, and you're sipping your favorite cocktail or mocktail, and you are reflecting on your life. What do you think, as of today, the actions or the deeds which you would do and you happy about, or what you would not do? So I think just note down one or two responses. You can make this table on a piece of paper. You can write down anywhere you want. But I'm gonna give you like 20 seconds to write down, and really, because for each slide that we do today, I have one action item, right? I personally think that if we keep listening to something, yes, we remember. But if we really want to get something out of our life, we listen to something, we just note down one point, one action. And I would really request you that you would write down these responses after each and every slide. And then in the end of the presentation, I'll tell you what to do with it. So please go ahead. I can stop my screen share. And when you are done, please, in 20 seconds, you can tell me that just write down one response or two responses. What would you really cherish, and what would you really change? And I can when you're done, just maybe you can type the word done in the chat, or you can nod your head that I'm done, or raise your hand, because I can see some people in the videos like Abdul Bashir, we have George, Jose, um, you know, other people who haven't turned their cameras on. But yeah, Anil, Poonam, a lot of people. I think we have more than about 50 people now. So just nod your head and say that I've written it. What one thing would you cherish about your life, looking back, sitting peacefully on the beach, and one thing that you would want to change? And trust me, this will help you. Just reflecting. I mean, reflection is, I think, very, very important. I can see people going like this, which means you're thinking. That's great. Okay, I think 10 more seconds to go. All right. So can someone from the audience, one person or two person, can you want to share something? What one thing that you would really cherish? I don't want to put in the spot, but still, it'll be great to know that when you're sitting, at this age, sitting on a beach, sipping your favorite cocktail, and you're reflecting on life. What is the one thing that you would cherish? Please, guys, go ahead. I need energy from this group, because I just cannot keep talking and talking and talking. It's what we're sharing is nothing new, right? We've already spoken about. So go ahead, guys.
So I would
Anyone,
like to share something.
please.
Actually, I love beaches, and actually, mountains or sea or nature. This give a chance to connect with ourselves, to know who you are, and you not depend your happiness is not depend on others. Lot of things have in nature giving to us, which we are, if we connect with nature, nature also return to us more.
Mm-hmm.
So what is in life is important is connecting with self. To be, through connecting you can know about how to be self love, self happiness, and how to bliss. Your happiness is not depend on others. If your
Mm-hmm.
happiness is depend on others, you will suffer because you depend on someone's.
So you're
Definitely
saying
you need
one cherishing thing is connecting with self, and what would you want to change is don't depend on others. Excellent, excellent point. Any other anyone else? I think I'm just noting down the responses as well, so we
thank
can
you.
see them later. Thank you so much, Vikas.
You are welcome.
Anyone else, guys? You can raise your hand. You can. I don't know if you can type on the chat.
Vikas is actually typed on the chat.
Oh, he's already typed on the chat.
Yeah,
But
Vikas
okay,
Gupta
I'll
is.
turn on my. How do I?
If you want, I can read it out for you.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Uh, Cherish all. Okay, all my experiences. That is what he will cherish. And
Okay.
he says
All my
nothing but
experiences. I mean, good or bad, both.
nothing informed there. And he put one thing, okay, holding my daughter first time. That is something.
Wow, that's amazing. That's an amazing positive.
Yeah.
Hold my daughter. Okay, go ahead.
And nothing he would like to change, because nothing in past things were perfect. That's what he said.
Oh, that's amazing. Nothing. I
Mhm.
mean, nothing is amazing. That means we already there
Yeah.
with our lives. That's a good thing. Okay, okay, chat.
Ah,
Okay, I've turned on the chat.
mhm.
Holding my son when he was born. Yes, traveling the world. That is an amazing point. I love that.
Okay, that I can't read. No.
Traveling the world. That's what Ina said. Okay, that's amazing. That's amazing. I mean, you see, we're all mentioning the points which are related to people, and not anything. I mean, nobody would. I'm sure. I mean, if I get more responses, I would see that nobody would mention about how much money I earned, or how much my wealth is. I think it's all about positive experiences. It's all about connecting with self. It's all about those experiences which really tell you that happiness is not something like a pursuit, like a destination. It's something that we live every day. We've all heard light at the end of the tunnel, right? Yes, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Only if you see the light every day, only if you go through that, imagination, you go through that pursuit every day, and don't think that it's like a destination. So thank you guys. I mean, amazing engagement to start with. Now, again, after each and every slide, I'll ask you a question, and you'll have to write it down. So now we get into that. My first thing which is close to my heart is you be true to yourself. The story is that a one man got a severe heart attack. He was immediately rushed to the hospital, and the doctor said, you have 24 hours, extremely critical for you, extremely in the ICU. And if you live these 24 hours, you will probably see the end, and you'll be able to live more. And the man was shocked, and he started shivering. And with shivering hands, he gestured to the nurse to give him a piece of paper and a pen. And the nurse and everybody thought maybe he wants to write his will, because that's what people do, right, in the end. But he just started writing those priorities of his life, and he wrote what wrote is that be you need to be true to yourselves. What happens is, when we say be true to yourself, what does it really mean? That first thing is, what is your purpose here? What is your calling? What is your passion? How do you I'm sorry guys, if you're writing in the chat, I'm not able to read it right now, but so yeah, hi Dieter. I think somebody's saying hi to Dieter. Okay, so listen to your calling, which means that you say to yourself that what is my purpose of being in this world? How do I impact someone, something today? And I say to myself that today is the day that I want to do something, not tomorrow, and not day after tomorrow. And you get one opportunity, you get two opportunities, you get your inner voice saying to you that this is something that I really need to do. What we do sometimes in life is that we want to do something big. Yeah, we want to be famous. We want to do something really to become, come on a magazine cover. But we forget that starting today, doing something small is probably better than doing some big tomorrow. What we do is we want to do something big and we just keep procrastinating. We just say to ourselves, okay, I will do it. I will make it like this. I will make it like that. And I will plan. And planning is good. But over planning and not doing it at all for ourselves is not good. What we need to do is that we should focus on our best. Sometimes we're not sure about ourselves. We are living somebody else's lives. We are, waiting for other people to guide us. Yes, we get inspiration for other people, but we are waiting for people to instruct us. And I think for a lot of people, and including myself, I worked in in 5 corporate organizations for 5 years. And that's how, unfortunately, we are trained. We will do something if we are instructed. We will do something if we are told to do, and we will not think on our own that what is best for us. So we should always focus on our best, and we want to do something good today, do something um, for ourselves today. We need to do something small now and say to ourselves that, yes, later is fine, being big is also fine, but not at the cost of not starting today. We wait to be lucky sometimes. I mean, it's good to win a lottery if we do, but every day gives you an opportunity to start something today for your own self. And when I say for your own self, it means that how we impact lives in a way that we say to ourselves that I've done something good today. And every day, if you do it, you'll definitely don't won't wait to be lucky. I think many people have this thing in their mind. They want to impact people around you. In my opinion, in my personal life, I think I've taken this that if I don't want to wait for anybody to tell me anything, I can impact someone's life today. I can impact the people around me today. So one action, again, one action, one thing, and you can please share on the chat or you can write it down somewhere. One thing that you will get better at today. Whatever is in your mind since the last so many years, since the last so many weeks, since the last so many months, just put it down right now that you want to do that thing today, and you start today. I'll give you 20 seconds. Please go ahead, write it down. And I think Ina said in the chat that staying in a job that didn't fulfill and prolonging really important things like personal wishes. Absolutely right, Ina. If you, yes, I don't mean to say that you leave your job and you start, doing your passion. Yes, paying the bills is also important. But if it's not fulfilling your own wishes, you got to ask yourself, am I being really true to myself? Because at the end of the day, what really counts is that when you're towards the end of your life, and when those people in the research were asked, what will you do, what you would have done better today, this is the first thing. So yeah, travel to Italy. Yes, I'm yeah, helping others get a job. Being more tolerant. Yes, that's nice. And would anybody like to share one thing which will tell you that I'm being true to myself today and I want to get better at something today?
Forgive everybody who has hurt me.
Abdul Bashir, yes, go on.
I said, forgive everybody who has hurt me in my life. That is what
That's
I'm.
really amazing, Bashir. And I think it's one of the points in my presentation too. But yeah, I mean, thank you for bringing that up. I think forgiveness it's an unbelievable energy saving, thing. Thank you very much. Anyone else? We've got about how many? Hmm.
Actually, we are all not allowed to chat. That's why people are not
Oh,
able to
you've
send messages,
already
I think.
disabled
No, it's
chat?
open. It's open.
So,
You can
open.
chat.
Shireen .e.s, if I can request you deactivate the chat. Please don't do that
Open.
because
Amran, it's open.
is it open? Yeah.
Yes, it's absolutely open.
Thank you, thank you. Because see, the thing is that yeah, do some philanthropy work. I think Elena said doing some philanthropy work. Elena, like volunteering the scale, but realize just helping one underprivileged in my country is one small step. Elena, would you like to say this on the speaker too on the mic?
Yes, good morning. Good morning to me. It's 1 a.m. here.
Oh my
Yes,
God!
I
Thank you
mean,
so much for joining, Elena, at 1 a.m. It really means a lot.
I know, yeah, but it's something I'm interested in. So anyway, yeah, it's doing philanthropy work. Like it's a dream for me, but it's something I can't do right away because I have to give up my career, which I can't at the moment. So I just
Hmm.
realized in my country there's a lot of people who needs help. So I think starting with one person, one child, for example, is a small step, but it could give a big impact to that child, and it will have a ripple effect in the future for this child. And yeah,
That's
yeah.
correct.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely right, Elena. I think you said an amazing thing. I think how as much as we talk about volunteering and as in like the internations group is all volunteering, Wissam is volunteering, other councils are volunteering, I am volunteering, and I think what if you change one life today, it doesn't matter that and you know we all do volunteering in our own capacity. We do it financially, we do it physically, or we do it even if we think about those people. A lot of bad things are going in this world, like with Lebanon and a lot of other countries, Palestine. And if we can't do anything directly, if we think about that only, that's also considered prayer, right? And a prayer is also volunteering your thoughts. So thank you very, very much. I think volunteering is an amazing thing, but if it's if it helps you being true to yourself. Thank you, thank you. So if nobody wants to share anything else, I'll just go to the next slide. Okay, this is the energy is high. I'm happy. Is the energy high, guys? Come on, give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up, guys. Come on. I can't all see everybody's videos, but yes, thank you, guys. Steve, George, everybody, yes. Your nods and your thumbs up will tell me energy is high. Excellent, excellent. And you're loving it. And our next point here is becoming love. Now, when I was writing this, I was thinking about it and I said, if we tell someone love is important, we need to love, but becoming love really means that you don't need to do it uh, purposely. It's like and Vikas mentioned or somebody else mentioned that holding my daughter in my arms. Just imagine when most of you had daughters or sons, we never taught them really to walk, right? They started crawling themselves. It came to them so naturally. Then they started walking. I mean, if we don't really teach our mother tongue to our children, right? They learn it automatically. They just do it so naturally. So by becoming love, I mean, just be in that aura. And there's an amazing story. I'm a fan of stories. A man's mother passed away, and he was devastated. Mothers, I mean, God protect all our parents, but mothers are some person in our life who who we who is the definition of love. When his mother passed away, at the funeral, um, there were so many people who had come there. and he knew everybody. But there's one woman who was sitting at the corner, right corner. When the funeral ended, he went he went up to that woman and asked her, I'm sorry, I don't know you. I've never seen you. Did you know my mother?" She said, "No, I didn't know your mother. But when I saw her face in the obituary in the newspaper, I I had to come to the funeral." So, and he asked her, I said, "So how did you know her? How did you meet her?" He said, "One day I had a I was having a very bad life. Everything in my life was going bad. And I didn't know what to do. I was probably going to commit suicide. I was extremely depressed. I was going home in the evening in the last bus, and your mother came and sat beside me. And by looking at my face, she asked me, 'Are you really stressed? Do you want to talk?' And she said that when she looked at me, she had genuine love on her face. She asked me, and just in 15 minutes she spoke to me, and I told her everything, and she just heard, she just listened. And when I went back home, I didn't want to commit suicide anymore, because I knew that there's someone somewhere who loves me. So, I mean, this is something which we don't think, that when we um, when we think about it, that, you know, in everyday basis, are we kind and compassionate? um, Small things of kindness make a big difference. And I think this is such a reinforcement today. And that, you know, when I used to come to office every day in my lift, the elevator, I once saw a cleaner guy. I didn't know him, and he was there for a long time. And he smiled at me and said, "Good morning, sir. How are you doing?" And it just made my day. It didn't take anything at all. And I said, I'm great. Thank you very much." So being kind and compassionate is something which should come naturally. It's an everyday thing. You can make someone smile. You can make someone open the door on the person who's coming behind you. And I'm sure these small things, giving a way to someone when we're on the roads, and to avoid road rage too. So what I'm thinking here is that even a small act of kindness today goes a long way. And when you do these acts of kindness every day, you keep doing it, then you see that how this effect multiplies. And in my opinion, in my humble opinion, it's fills you with energy. It gives you that internal love. When you share love, you get love automatically. What we do is, we use, we love things and we use people. It should be the opposite. We should love people and use things. I mean, imagine your life, imagine your friends, your family, your kids. If something breaks in the house, all right, if a child breaks a glass, or if a child, breaks something in the house which is very, very precious, what do we do? What do we do with them? Don't we get angry? Yeah, raise your hand. Yeah, don't we get angry? We think that, something's gone bad and things are broken. But the thing is that really we need to think that, are things more important or people? So yeah, I mean, that's one point. So one kind gesture. What's the one kind gesture you will do today to a stranger? And please write it down. And if you want to share, it'll be amazing. You can be creative. You can be creative. Please go ahead. I'm going to read the chat for 2 seconds. We got opportunity to buy new things if they break. Yeah. Shopping time. It's karma. Everything comes back. Bianca, thank you for sharing. Do you want to elaborate more on that, Bianca? You can unmute yourself and say, calling Bianca, it's karma, everything comes back to you. You want to please say something?
Hey, Imran, sorry, I was on mute. Yes, so
okay.
what I mean by that actually is, you know, everything you do, the good things, I think they definitely come back. Sometimes you just gotta wait a bit. They don't come back directly, but I think eventually, you know, the good things you do, they will come back to you. And that also equals for the bad things. So, yeah, I think it's important to do good things. I totally agree with you. I love how you're like handling this this chat and this event. You're doing a really great job, by the way, Imran.
Thank you, Bianca. Thank you. I'm just trying. I mean, this is my first Internations event, especially online. I mean, you know, engagement is my thing. When I do physical events or talk to people, it's so important to take feedback and, you know, talk to people. So yes, and I think Inge Tyler, I don't know, I'm really sorry if I'm not spelling your name, Inge Tyler. She said, I met 3 jobless people today on a cruise and I invited them to join our next meeting. That is amazing. I mean, just such small things. I mean, I've seen so many great stories during these COVID times. People have, in India, in Pakistan, Bangladesh, all around the world, people have gone out of their houses and helped people. I mean, recently, I don't know if you heard, in Pakistan, we had devastated floods, devastated. I mean, there was like, the rain was like, after 100 years, it had broken the record. People got stranded. They couldn't get home for, you know, like maybe 3 days or something like that. And people got out of their houses and, you know, you helped people. You just be kind for no reason. You just, and you know what, I mean, it's not that if we, you know, we expect something in return. It's not that we expect that, yes, if I'll be loved, if people do something good to me, I'll do something good to them. That's not how it works. This is something which is your belief. You become love, you do something for someone, and not in the expectations. Yes, karma is amazing, that yes, it will come back to you. And you know, but it should not be your expectation. And that's my you know, that's my bigger, Elena said, bigger tips for delivery guys. That is amazing. I mean, that's such a small thing, but I think I've done that too. Keep on, guys. You can write in the chat, you can unmute yourself. Bigger tips for the delivery guy. That's an amazing thing to do, because we know that these small things are going to make a small difference to that person's life today. And any other creative ideas, guys, before I move on? Come on, guys, say something.
I
Write
would like to
something
say,
down. Yeah, go ahead. Enrique Pinto,
even
go
now,
ahead, please.
just look at people in the eyes. Psychologists said that using mask was an invitation to look at people in the eyes. So I think it's a practice we can start
That
if
is
we don't.
amazing, because we
Yeah.
can't see the whole face. You can look it in the eye, look people in the eye, and just, you know, just that gesture of kindness. That's amazing. That's amazing, Enrique.
And even a smile can be expressed through the eyes. We are not longer like allowed to see the mouth because of the mask, but the whole face expression, the eyes, the
That's
how the
amazing. I'm going to try
eyebrows
that out.
yeah. So it's
So thank you, guys. I mean, what I'll do is, after each and every slide, I will stop slide share and I'll take the feedback like this. I'm loving this engagement, because without this, we cannot thrive. So thank you very much. So that concludes my second point. Thank you for sharing, guys. Thank you very much. So the third point now. Uh, okay. So this is improve your perspective. Now, what does this really mean? So there's a beautiful story that I heard and I wanted to share with you. So a man got paralysis and he had to visit the hospital. And the doctor said, well, you need to stay here. Okay, sorry. I think the chat is not on for everyone. Is it? Yeah, okay, it's on. Thank you. So he visited the hospital and he had to stay in the hospital and he had to be hospitalized because he had gone into paralysis. He was sharing his room with a person who was sitting next to a window. Now, um, obviously, he could not move from his bed because he was bedridden. That person who was next to the window, he was so kind. He started sharing what he could see from outside the window. The beautiful green grass, people cheering there, kids running here and there, birds flying in the sky. And he used to paint an amazing picture for him every day. And somehow it used to be different. Somehow it used to be very inspiring. And that made him really, go through this lifetime, go through this period of difficulty in his life. After a few months, he started feeling that, that this guy is so happy. This guy can see everything. Why is he even in this hospital? I am, bedridden. I can't move. I have paralysis. And he started thinking that, my ego is big and my problems are really big. One day, when he woke up, the guy near the window who was not there, he inquired from the doctors where he had gone, and the doctor said he had some very rare disease and he passed away. So he thought for a minute and then he told the nurse, can you please move my bed to the other side so I can see all the beautiful things? As soon as he moved his bed, he saw from the window that there was a blank wall and there was nothing which anyone could see. And then he realized what was that man was really doing. He was doing something for his mate, his friend, for himself, that he was building hope for him. Guys, what happens in our lives is that we always think that our problems are so much bigger than ours, than others, that we do not see the positive perspective. So the first point here is you change your lens. Sometimes when we wear glasses, and especially now with the masks on, and I'm sure people who wear the glasses would say like Wissam, Bashir, everybody, and I sometimes I even wear glasses. Your glasses get fogged and you can't see. This is about changing your own lens. When you look in the mirror and the mirror is dirty, the reflection will also be dirty. The reflection will also be negative. It will also be bad. We need to see things from our own perspective. We need to see things from a positive perspective of thinking that my issues, my problems are not as big as others. And even if they are, I need to be positive. There was this guy who lost his job and he lost his girlfriend and he was traveling in a metro. And he was sitting in the metro late night, and there were a lot of children in that train, late night train. There were a lot of children in that train who were just running around, 3 or 4 of them, making noises, really disturbing everyone. And the children's father was really quiet. He was sitting just looking at the children, and he had this lost, you know, on his face. For a long time, he ignored the children, but he then could not really, uh, take it anymore. And he asked, he told the father that, why don't you stop these children from screaming, shouting, and making so much noise? And he said, their mother just passed away. And imagine the paradigm shift. Imagine the change of perspective, that if you have lost something and the other person has lost something, you're in the same boat. And the children probably noisy because of that reason. So we need to change our own lens. And it's not that, people tell us and we get feedback from other people, but we always know that what my strengths are, what's going on bad in my life. And yes, you can share with people, but you can always agree to disagree, right? There are so many times in this world that we fail. We lose something in our lives, we lose a relationship, we lose our job, or we lose anything else. But if you really um, think about that moment when you were successful, then you will learn from your failure. We need to be critical about our failures, yes, but we need to reflect on our successes also. We need to reflect that, yes, this is the reason that I was not successful, and then move on. Somebody said it's not how high you fall from, but it's how much higher you bounce. And I think that is something which really stuck in my head, that if you concentrate on the positive and you change your perspective, then the life really changes. And this story really makes me think that if I don't have shoes to wear, the other person does not have legs to have shoes. So okay, now I'll stop my screen share and I'll take some feedback. And I want you to write one lesson on what you learned from your last success or failure. What, when was the last, God forbid, you had a big failure, a small failure, or somebody passed away, or something really didn't go well. What did you really learn from it? What lesson did you learn from it? And then if you had any success, what was the good thing about that? We'll take 10 seconds. All right, I think does anybody want to share? I
Can
have
I
so
say
many
something,
faces.
please, Amran? So, ladies and gentlemen, the format that Amran is using is on the chat to have the comments, but I feel the responsiveness is extremely low. I'm not sure why. So please, in order for us to have an engaging and fruitful discussion, I'm encouraging you, please, to put your comments and your feedback and to answer the points that he's mentioning in the chat. So,
I can
Yes,
share
please. I mean,
something
it's
actually without writing. Hello, everyone. I just want
hi.
to add something actually, that it is very important to be grateful and appreciate what we have. It's really very important. It's not for others, but for yourself, and you feel a lot of energy, a positive energy that gives you more, let's say, passion and let's say motivation of what you are doing. And we need to believe that everything happens, actually, good or bad, there is a reason for it. We don't see it quickly because we have this habit that we want to see everything fast. But with the time, you will see, this happened to me because for that reason. So this we need to keep it in mind. It's very important also. So I just want to share it with
Thank you
everyone.
so much. Thank you so much. I think one of the points, very important points, and I think I'll come to that later. That's in my presentation, about being gratitude and about happy about your life. That's absolutely great. Somebody said nothing is permanent, good or bad. Absolutely right. Every day is a blessing, and we should really appreciate and really understand that the perspective of life that I'm taking is positive. I think Tyler said that I agree in many areas, but I was raised to care about others, have been doing good things for others regardless of myself, but actually having handed in my notice, moved countries to be close to my parents, and whilst in searching for one myself. So that's amazing. I think it's every day brings a different perspective for us. It just gives an opportunity to think that yes, today is going to be better than yesterday, and it's all about having our own perspective. So thank you guys, thank you for sharing. I'll just turn on my screen share again for the next slide. All right. Self-discipline. Now, I think this is an amazing point, and I want to share this story with you again. There was an elderly carpenter, and he had lived his good life, and he wanted to now retire. He used to build beautiful houses. He went to his boss and said that, I want to retire. So, I'll miss the money that I used to get every month, but now I want to live a, retired life, and I've done my job and I've done well. So the boss told him, okay, you can take a retirement, but I want you to do one last job for me, and that is build one last house. That person, he said, okay, really, one last house? You really want me to do that? He said, yes. So he started working on that one last house, and he was a carpenter. And but what he did was that at that time, he did not put his 100%. He um, used inferior material. He took a little more time. He did not do his job properly, and he finished half-heartedly, did not really do a good job, and he knew it. And he said, okay, fine, because this is my last job, I'm going to be retiring anyways, so let's just get it over with. So he after he was done, he called his boss, and his boss came to inspect the house that he had made. After he inspected for a minute or two, he took out the keys, and he gave those keys to this carpenter and said, this is your house now. So imagine that, if what he was thinking to himself, that if he gave his 100% to himself, and if he was that self-disciplined, if only he had known that this is going to come back to me, this I'm doing for my own self, then would he had done it differently. What in a book I read, they call it practice tough love. What we do to every day, I mean, we wake up every day with a routine. Sometimes we wake up late, and what we do to ourselves every day, being self-disciplined, being doing something with our own self, with love. But yes, it should be tough love. It could be waking up early in the morning to do something. It could be exercise. It could be anything. And I think that particular self-discipline, when we do to ourselves, it means so much to us. And it's again a matter of living the life more deliberately. So you have an option, right? You can live life on somebody else's instructions. You can live life like a leaf who is put in a river and is just flowing. But to live life more deliberately with your priority means that you will need to self-discipline yourself. You will, and it also means what we think in everyday basis, the thoughts we think, the books we read, the people we meet, the exercise we do for ourselves. It's all a part of that. It means that you are living the life as per your own priorities, as per your own discipline. And it's making those life choices every day. As I said, reading good books, you know keeping yourself abreast with the latest technology, learning new courses, but just giving yourself that discipline, that I'll be living the life on my own terms. For that, obviously, we will need to come out of our comfort zones. Over the period of so many years, what happens to us is that we just fall into our comfort zone, where the place where we feel happy, the place which looks okay to us today. We are okay to be in the weight which we want. We are okay to be in a job that we are good at. We're fine. But if you really want to get some to a next level, you really need to do self growth. Then self discipline, and it's something which we need to inculcate in our lives. It's it's just like that carpenter who, if you known that I'm doing it for myself, would you do it such an important job? If somebody tells you, have $1 million, keep it in your, bank account, but don't spend it. And you know that particular $1 million is always there. It's for your backup. All right. Would you do things differently? Would you be, go ahead? And so, again, one discipline um, as an action point. Please note one discipline that you will introduce in your system today. I have many video shares now. Thank you very much, guys. Sorry, guys. I believe my mom has been brought to hospital. Sorry, Tyler. I'm sorry you had to go. Would anybody like to share, please?
Yes, I would like to share.
Imran, I think we should deactivate the chat and just keep it an open discussion, because I feel the level of interaction is very low.
Okay, all right,
Sure.
okay.
Are
Sure,
people
sure.
tired, or are people not wanting to type, or what is it? But I'm not going to do that until everybody's okay with it, because actually the medium we're using, like 5 or 6 or 7 people have their cameras on. Everybody has a blank screen, and it's not very conducive to having an interaction, whereas the speaker actually would like to have interactions.
That's true. I mean, it's interaction is always great, and I think there's some people sharing, which is amazing. I mean, if some people just want to listen to this talk, that's also fine. But it'll be amazing if there is an engagement. Yes, Vikas, please tell us one thing which you really want to do today, one discipline.
I just want to share, add more things about what I want to say about whatever do in life, do with fullness. Means not do anything with half-hearted. Means dedication in life is very important. If you dedicate to something, and then you will be more positive also towards yourself. And this will make give more strength also to you to be more be explore and more be positive towards life, and just like to be a better human being also will be also kind of
Yeah,
thing.
I mean, I think definitely if you give something extra, then you can get something extra. Like, I mean, you take an example of a caterpillar. It lives their life, but when it really wants to get out of the comfort zone, put a put a worm around it, and then become a butterfly, right? So I think what happens is that a lot of struggle which we put in our life, it really helps us. And for ourselves, I think what we do is we give ourselves excuses many times. Let's say talk about working out, talk about exercise, right? How many excuses do we give to ourselves not to work out today, right? But anybody like to share? I think the best excuse that I've given to myself is, I don't have my shoes today. Yeah. So what we do is we keep giving ourselves excuses every day not to be disciplined or not go for workout. So anybody would like to share any
I
creative
want to
excuse?
add more things.
Yes, Vikas.
Actually, excuses we can create from any corner if we want to be. You know. So this is another one point, and another is just like a limitation. Limitation we selected what is our limitation, but that is unlimited actually.
Right. So what you're trying to say is that we give ourselves the limitations, but we have the mental blocks that we can't do much.
So, but when you connected with yourself and you know more yourself and you positive and because something you need to do it, then you will get it also something from life.
Yeah.
Or can I say something?
Yes, please. Who's this?
Sorry, my name is Hannah. I'm sorry, I'm off camera at the moment. Hi, but I just wanted to say, for me, because I am one of those people that kind of keep postponing things to say, oh, I'll do it later, sort of the comfort zone. But I find myself, talking to myself more now and really thinking, okay, this is good for you. You've got to do this. You can't wait anymore. So I think having that conversation with myself is trying to show myself, why is this good for you? Why don't you have to wait? Just helps me to sort of just do it anyway. And the more I do it, for example, like exercises, the more I do it, the more I seem to like it and more I want to enjoy it. And just that, the making it positive for me, making my brain feel positive about it. So I'm working a lot more on myself to make sort of,
That's so amazing.
yeah,
That's so amazing, Hannah. Thank you
yeah,
for sharing. It's
thank you.
basically us having a self conversation is an amazing tool to put that self discipline and taking it to the next level. Thank you very much. I'll just move to my next slide. Okay, this is interesting. You have an honesty policy to yourself. What happens is that um, so many times we get bombarded with calls from people who ask us to, let's say a friend calls and said, hey, let's go out, and we say, okay, fine, and we say, hey, let's catch up tomorrow, and we say, okay, but we don't really mean it. What honesty policies means is that if you are honest on a daily basis, and if you have a list of your priorities, then you will always be able to say yes or no to a thing, to a call, to a commitment deliberately. What we do is, generally speaking, in everyday lives, we sometimes go with the flow and we just say yes to everything, and then we don't realize that we can't really keep that commitment. So we need to make sure that we don't treat our words lightly, right? If we say yes to something, we say it when we really mean it. It's so amazing. I mean, we get bombarded with videos. Do you want to watch this video? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? And we keep clicking. And this classic example is the internation's attendance system, where you get about 200 people to register, all right? And you get your commitment. You tell yourself that, okay, I'm registering, not because if I want to attend. If I attend, I'll go. If I don't attend, I'll still put my registration. All right. So that is something which we are not being true to ourselves, right? We are not committing to something which we really do. So what happens is that in the long term, if we keep listening to people, and if we say, and I'm sure many of us have such friends that you'll say, hey, you guys go ahead, I'll join you in a bit, or I will join you after half an hour, guys, go ahead, I have something to do, I'll join you. But then that this person is never going to be there, right? And this is how we lose that credibility. And you know what, why that happens? Because we do not have our own priorities set. We don't know whether what we want to do is really on our list or not. It's very easy to say yes quickly on something, but to more deliberately think that, yes, is it important for me? Am I being honest to myself? Will I be able to really do this? And that's when we think that it's about excellence. It's about bringing honesty in your life and giving priorities to the most important things, and not the things which just come our way and just come with the flow. So the story here is that there was a swordsman with a Maharaja. He used to work with the Maharaja, and for 27 years, he created the perfect sword with a perfect, razor sharpness. And after 27 years, the Maharaja walked up to him and asked him, how do you do this every day, every year, every week? How do you uh, create such perfect masterpieces? And he said that I just focus on the most important. I shut everything out. All right. I just focus on the essential. I focus on my job well done. I focus on the best thing which I can do to my own self. I'm being honest to myself. And if you talk about superstars, yeah, Kobe Bryant, for example, basketball player, Lionel Messi, footballer, all these superstars, do you think they paid attention to who made the uniform or who, organized their meetings? No, they concentrating on playing and playing well. Do you think Brad Pitt or Shah Rukh Khan, for that matter, the popular Indian star, do you think he writes his script himself? No, he concentrates on acting. He concentrates on what he does best. So when we are honest to ourselves, we say no to things which are not important in our lives, and we say yes to things which are more important, and we do that. So I think this is, I won't ask you to write now, but we can keep a 7-day truth fast, commit to ourselves and consciously observe ourselves and say that from today on, whatever we say and whatever we commit to, we will do it. We will not keep people hanging, and we will not, think about, just saying yes to everything, but we'll think about it really if we want to commit. So guys, do I have your hands? Do we commit to this? Yeah?
Can I
Show
add
of hands,
something?
please. Yeah, I heard something.
Yes, I want to add something actually here. For me, it's not only about priority. It's about respecting what you are saying and respecting the word, which is unfortunately, it's really very sad to say that in our days, it became like, I can say something, but who cares? I can change it tomorrow. I can change it in 1 hour. So for me, it's about respect. Respect yourself and respect the word that you are saying. So I say what I mean. I mean what I say. And otherwise, please say no and then be honest with others, because that's something really very bad. And personally, I don't like it. And really, I see that it's more and more people are words at like, it doesn't have any value.
That's
Thank you.
amazing. Sorry, can I get your name?
Suad. It's
Suad, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't see on the screen who was speaking, but that's such an amazing point. Thank you so much for adding this. It's about respect to another person too. And I think it's so profound that if we are honest to ourselves and if we are just respectful to others, that will always mean that I have the credibility, I'll get the person's trust, and it's honestly, it comes from inside. So, it's thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much.
You're
Next
welcome.
point, guys. Be generous. So I'll go a little quickly now, and we have only four more points to go. I think 10:30 we have a last time. So be generous. Now, what does it mean? We are always told that generosity is something. Yes, it's important. We do it, but I think personally that you can never give something to someone. You can always share. You can always uh, be in an abundance mindset. You can never say that, okay, I have this, but well, that's too good for me. But if you have an abundance mindset and you say that I need to give something, and there was a man who owned a boat and he was living in Vancouver, and he took his children to do fishing, and it was a season, and you get all the fish you want. The whole day the family fished, and they caught a lot of fish. They got a whole boat full, and the children asked, "Hey dad, let's go again, let's keep the fish and then come back again to fish." And guess what the father said? He said, we need to make sure that there's enough fish available and for everyone to fish. So by giving, we don't really lose anything. Some people say, if you have a skill, don't do it for free, you lose credibility. In my opinion, this is a misnomer. If you share, you get more. If you have an abundance mentality, there's a lot for everybody in this world to get. What if you want to get materialistic things in this world, then will you be really happy with those materialistic things. I mean, in the start of the presentation, I asked you that, imagine that in going back, reflecting your life, what is the best thing in your life? What would you like to do? And I think none of you mentioned materialistic. So I think it's a misnomer that we should not do it for free. Yes, if you have some skill, go ahead, share with others. I'm doing my bit today, in this in the nations program. You can please go ahead, be generous. And it's not for it's generous for the courageous, not for the cowardly, because we know so many people in this world who don't want to give, who just keep things for themselves. And I just remember that quotation from Sikandar Azam, the Alexander the Great. Then when he died, he kept he asked people to keep his hand outside the coffin to show people that he's going empty-handed. Yeah. And it's such an amazing thing that it's only for the courageous, and I think he was a very courageous man. And last point is, you just receive immense blessings from God, from Bhagwan, from whichever God you follow, from the universe. If you make a commitment to be generous, to give what you have, you will never sleep, sleep without food. So I think just one action here. And if anybody would like to share, note one thing from your prized possessions that you will give to anybody else.
I just want to add something here, if I can.
Yes, who's this?
It's Rad.
Yes, please go ahead.
I just want to say that actually the more you give, the more you will get. Indirectly. You will not know from where, but the more you will give, the more you get. So yes, I will fully agree on this.
That's amazing. I mean, this is such a great belief. I mean, it's easier said than done, I know, but the more you give, the more you get, and especially with knowledge, right? It's,
yes,
I mean, it can never.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yes, Swat, please go ahead.
No, I said it's about knowledge, about just sometimes very simple, just be nice with someone, just help someone, just share something that is really very simple, but it will make the other feel much happier because he needed it that time that you give it to him or to her. So it makes a difference.
Absolutely. And you can just not be generous with money, you can be generous with appreciation too. Hello guys, come on, any appreciation? Be generous with appreciation, right? I mean, I think we can give a thumbs up to each other. Yeah, on the hand. Yeah, thanks. Oh, Steve, Eva, thank you. Bianca, that's amazing. Generous with smile, let's all smile. Come on guys, I'm like laughing, not even smiling. Yeah, that's great, thank you very much. And there's one more thing we should be generous with. You know what? Apology.
Yes.
It's an unbelievable thing. I mean, it's like a magic thing that we discussed already, that how important this is, that we should be first one to say sorry. And not, I mean, it solves a lot of problems. So yeah, I'll go to my next slide now. Thank you for sharing, guys. Screen share on. All right, excellent. Build, apply, and practice. This is such an amazing story I heard. There was a 10-year-old boy who didn't have one arm. Yeah, he didn't have one arm when he was born. So, but he still started, joined a judo karate course, and the trainer always taught him the moves, but he always taught him one move which was better than others. And he kept learning the same move from for the 3 months and 4 months. And then his instructor said that, okay, I'm going to put you in a tournament, in a competition. And he went to that competition. In the first round, he did really bad. And because he didn't have one left arm, so the coach said that, do you really want to, forfeit? The trainer said, no, he will keep on playing. This boy, in the last round, um, he kept playing. He didn't quit. in the last round, he won. He did that signature move and he won against that person. And he was very shocked that, how did I really win? I'm actually disabled. I have this major weakness. He asked his trainer, can you tell me how I really won this competition when the person against me was really good? And he said that there are two things which you did, which were really well. One is that you mastered one of the most difficult one of the most difficult moves in judo karate. And the second is that the only defense for that move is that your opponent has to catch your left hand. So you see, this is how he turned his weakness into his strength. We need to build on our strength, and that's such an important thing. We have already identified the strength that we have in the previous slides, and we already know what we are good at. We already know what we can give to others. But if you don't build on those strengths, and I think there is no better thing to build on your strength is just to apply that knowledge. We know that yes, we are good at this and we are good at this and we are good at speaking or we're good at cooking. But when we start applying this knowledge, it increases. And sometimes we are good at art but we don't practice. But again, if we practice, if we apply that knowledge, if we say to ourselves that we want to give this half an hour today to myself. If I'm good at something, I want to give myself today time to do that important thing. We think about people around us. We do a lot of things for our families, for our friends, for our greater community. But if we don't do things for ourselves, okay, if we don't practice, we will not be able to apply that knowledge, our strength. And I think if we do not share our strength, if we do not apply our strength, it's of no use. We should invest in what we love, right? What is my strength? And if you keep practicing, like it's like planning for your thing. When we travel somewhere, and I heard in the chat earlier that some people really like to travel. When you travel somewhere, we prepare for it, right? What do? We talk to other people that you've already been there. How is the country? How are the people? Is it going to be hot, cold? Is it going to be warm? What should I take? So we should prepare, and we should always build on our strengths. We should apply and we should practice, and certainly be less fearful. Because what happens is that when we want to apply a knowledge, when we want to say do something from someone, and we are fearful, we don't do it. We think that, oh, what will that person think, or what will that particular community think, what will my parents say about us, what my family. But if we do not apply that knowledge, we don't apply ourselves. That's really so. Guys, please list down one activity now that makes you really feel strong. I've stopped screen share again. Does anybody like to share? Or maybe in the chat? Okay, practice repeated, that is becomes second nature. Challenges strengthens you, and your weakness is your greatest strength. Thank you very much. And Vikas Gupta is saying use Lonely Planet and read it. Okay, very good point. Bianca says thank you. Okay, I'll go to my next slide now, and a couple of points remaining only. Yes, I think somebody was mentioning, and I think we cannot stress on it more. Forgiveness is something which we give to ourselves. It's a very, very selfish act. It's something which, if somebody has done bad to us, and if we carry that hatred and anger inside, I think this will be extremely bad for us. So I think it's a very selfish act. We whatever event is being bad to us, whatever people have been bad to us, whatever negative things, we need to release that anger. We need to say to ourselves, I forgive. Because if you don't forgive someone, it's like carrying his or her weight on your own shoulders. And only, obviously only strong people can do that. Only people who are not resentful can do that. It's not everybody can forgive, but if you can really forgive, and if you stop telling it continuously, because what happens is that when something bad happens to us, we talk about it to people, and we keep talking about it. We be the victim. And you've read about it, that victimhood mentality, that we always say that, yes, this happened to me, this bad thing happened to me, my past was bad. But really, if you want to get ahead in life, and this quotation from Tony Robbins, that forgiveness is a gift to your own self. So yeah, I mean, I heard someone say earlier, I just want to ask you for 10 seconds today, and from this platform, think of any person, God forbid, if somebody has hurt you, just say to your own heart and say, I forgive you. And just feel that energy, just feel that letting go. Just think about that person for 10 seconds, guys. And this is an important activity. You don't have to write anything, but just think of that person in your mind and say to yourself, I forgive you. And just feel that, if does anybody want to share anything, please go ahead. You can just
Yes,
unmute yourself.
I want to share.
Vikas, yes, thank
Actually,
you.
it's forgiveness is it we are creator who are have right to be forgive. I think everybody is have his freedom to be. It's okay if somebody is have some problem. It's okay. They give them freedom, and then you can get also freedom.
That's true.
So
It's about
this
giving
is
freedom to
my
someone and
way
say
of
that,
thought.
okay, I don't have
We
anything
are
in
not
my heart now.
capable to give to someone forgiveness because we are only simple human being. Nothing are we are. There is creator who is doing everything, but at least we are all human beings, so we at least to be give freedom to each other, respect to each other, and spread a love to each other. And who would like to be joined with us definitely are welcome. Whoever not want is okay, they have own way. So this is my philosophy.
Thank you. Thank you
You're
so much,
welcome.
Vikas. Thank you so much, Vikas. Okay, so the second last point is going within ourselves. Now, this is something so important. In the COVID days, we are not able to leave the house, so we can't go out. We should go in. I don't know how many people here, and I want to see show of hands. How many people really believe in meditation, and you can use it to really change your life? Thank you, Bianca, Vikas. Who else? Hands, please. Yeah, Steve. Yes, Swad. Go ahead, guys. Yes,
Meditation is the way, only one way to, how, to connect with yourself. This is the way only.
that's true. And if you really, if it's like you just give yourself silent time. It's like, we keep running on every day, and we keep doing our things, and we say to ourselves, but we don't stop. We don't become silent, and we don't sit in solitude even for 5 minutes every day. We will spend maybe 20 minutes or 30 minutes aimlessly browsing on our Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, and so much social media, but we will not sit down. It's like telling yourself that uh, you know you uh, you want to keep running your car, but don't want to stop for gas. Yeah, it's like keep running your car, don't stop for gas. But going within yourself and really giving you solitude time for 5 minutes a day, it can do wonders. What I do to for myself is, when I wake up in the morning, I give myself 5 minutes to start my day, and I just sit down in meditation, and I listen to positive affirmations, positive way to start the day, and positive things which really help you to go within. And just in the end of the day, you give yourself silent mind. And just like you, it's like decluttering yourself, right? It's like you clean your house every now and then, right? You heard about spring cleaning, that you get rid of the old stuff, you get rid of the old shoes, books, etc., etc. But you don't really sit and declutter your own mind. You don't really clear your own mind. And it's so important if you want to, come out refocused, revitalized, and restored. I think, Enrique, you want to say anything? You are muted.
No,
You wanted to say
no,
anything?
no. I
Okay.
just,
Yeah, go
it's
ahead.
okay.
Okay, I would like to be more something share. So actually, it's regarding meditation because this is not I read only, but I have experience too. And when I say connecting with self, this is not means I already connected with myself. This is a lifelong process actually to be connecting with self. When means we still are on process to know who am I,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
this is main thing is whatever I'm talking with you to sharing, this I also experienced and I learned. So, but this knowledge will be or experience will be going more and more will be after how much I involved to myself and how I communicate things.
That's absolutely right, Vikas. Thank you very, very much for sharing.
Thank you
I'll just
for giving
screen
me
share mine
opportunity
again.
to be sharing.
Anybody else wants to say anything? This, because after this will be my last point, and I'll just start my click the presentation again.
One thing I wanted to say, Imran.
Hey, Brijesh, please,
Yeah,
please go ahead.
I totally agree with because the introspecting is almost on a daily basis because the meditation is not that you do it once and you're okay with it. So it's a very continuous process. Every day you go off path, you have to be on path. Each time there is a circumstances which gets you off road already, so you have to get back onto the road. So
True.
agreeing to Vikas, it's a very perpetual kind of this thing which needs to carry on. I have been trying to do it for many years, but still, I fail every time I try and get on the road. There's some circumstances which allow which lets me know that whether I should react this way or that way. So introspection is all the time. It's a very continuous process, I think.
That's so amazing. That's absolutely well said. And
Actually, it's a
it's
British
it's about
saying,
it's about
sorry,
revitalizing
because
yourself every day. It's about decluttering your mind. It's about being silent with yourself. And it's not just because, see, in many cultures, meditation is taken as that we pray to God, and yes, we connect with God. But it's much more than that. It's basically stopping and getting some petrol for ourselves, energizing ourselves, and every day. You're absolutely right, Brajesh. Thank you very, very much. Um,
and
I'll just
British
so
mentioning
Vikas, I'll
about
just let me just complete my last slide, and then I'll take your comment. Is that okay?
yeah, sure, please.
Thank you very, very much. Okay, guys, and I think the last point which I want to say today, and the 10th point is, you choose happiness. It's not that it's a destination. I said in the beginning as well, it's something which you have to do every day. We don't confuse it with temporary comfort, right? I mean, we could get temporary comfort with the new LCD TV with which we get, right? We could get temporary comfort with the new car we get, or something new in our life, but that is never ending, right? Because we pursue happiness like a destination, and when we reach this destination, we're not happy anymore. Then we go for more, and we go for more, and we go for more. So in it's something which we choose every day. We cherish the present moment. It's about basically being in the present. And I think meditation, a lot of meditation is also about being aware of yourself today, being in the present moment, not to think about the past, not to worry about the future, but just today is what we have. And we should just take this, and we should not leave any regrets, any desires, any uh, you know we should not take any regrets to our grave. Basically, we should live every day every day as it's a last day, and we need to make a conscious effort. When we wake up in the morning, we have two choices, either to be happy or not be happy, right? If we choose to be happy, we have that choice and nobody can take it from us. So yeah, one last action. Write about one moment that gave you immense happiness today. When you woke up today, it could be anything. What were you happy about today? I'll give you 5 10 seconds, and if you want to share anything about that happiness, I'll be really grateful. One thing that really made you happy today.
I think is communicate with everyone and sharing. That is also.
All right, that's amazing. That's amazing. Something which you did today, you felt happy about it. You chose happiness. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Lucia, Steve, Shireen, George, so many people listening. I hope they're still listening. Bianca, you shared. Thank you, Hannah, Jose, Sylvia. Just one thing today. What
Yes,
made you really happy today?
hi.
Hi,
Yes,
Luciana.
I'm listening. You know what made me happy today? Just to be alive.
Wow. That is
That's
so amazing. That is
it.
so amazing that we
Don't ask,
woke up and we were actually alive.
no, don't ask me why I'm happy. I've never been happy before, but now I'm happy. I don't know. It just came. I don't know how, but it just came.
This is so amazing, Luciana. Thank you very much for sharing. Because what were you happy about today?
Every day we born again. So that is that, as she say, that is
A
kind of
new day.
true. Every
Every
day
day is a
we
new day.
reborn.
Yes, exactly.
So when
That's
you
true.
awake and you alive, that is first happiness, I think, of the day.
Absolutely. And I think
And
on
I
this
think
note,
also, and if I
yes,
can
please.
add something actually, we should not, let's say, make any connection to material things in life with happiness, because happiness has to come first from your soul, from your inner. Then you feel that you are happy, you appreciate what you are, and that gives you the happiness. So if it's happiness that is related to something material, as you said, it will be a destination, and when you get it, then okay, I am not happy anymore. I need something different. So
Absolutely right.
and
Absolutely right.
yeah, when you
And
wake
I
up in
think
the morning and you are alive, you are with good health, you have let's say what you eat, or you are having good friends, you are good family. So a lot of things that you should be grateful, and that gives you the happiness that you are happy.
absolutely, absolutely, so true. I think the breath that we take, the food that we eat, the shoes that we wear, everything. I mean, smallest thing to be happy about every day, and that's how life is all about, right? Just being happy for everything. And I think on this high note, I will end, but I want to show you this 2-minute video with this, which has anybody seen Meet Joe Black, the movie? Guys who are as old as me, Meet Joe Black, raise your hand.
Not
Yeah.
me. No.
Nope.
No? Okay. So now I
Nope.
think after this presentation, you must, it's an amazing movie. And it is basically, okay, I'll share this, I'll share my screen and I'll show you what it's about. Can you see my screen? Yeah? Okay. It's a 1998 movie. And this is when death comes to a person and stares